Today's episode of Ship and Crew is brought to you by Whit's End Snacks, home of your best beef jerky. We got some hot sauce, seasonings, treats, and anything else you really want. We got it all. I hear this guy is a really great cook, Georgie. But if
Can
you
confirm.
Can't confirm. But if you want to know more about our product, Wits and Snacks, you can email us at witsandsnacks@gmail.com. That's witsandSnacks@gmail.com. We got your beef jerky. That's 3 pounds of beef jerky right there, Georgie. I don't know how much you can eat, but I can pound down some beef jerky. But it's got great stuff. Great stuff.
Nah, beef jerky, it is. Man, I was about to say beef jerky is very poundable. I don't really know how that. We are off to a great start. I'm just going to say I like beef jerky. Moving right along. On today's episode of Ship and Crew, we'll cover the biggest news stories in college and pro football, talk about how much we love moving. We may start beef with a B-list NFL analyst and end the show by drafting our favorite Taylor Swift songs. We got a lot to cover today, so let's put the wind in our sails and get after it. Going on, coming at you live from Chicago, Illinois. It is me, George St. John. I don't know why I said it's me. I don't know. Not our best start.
It's been a couple weeks here, Georgia, since we've had it. But from Tucson, Arizona, it is your boy, Sean Whitley. Georgie, how are you doing today?
Well, clearly, by my start here, not so hot. But I do know I'm doing a lot better than you because you're going through the worst time in every young adult's life. Sean, you wanna tell us about your week?
Yeah, man. We're starting the moving process. We gotta find a new apartment and everything. We, as in me, myself, and Rogan. Just for reference for everyone, when I say we, it's me, myself, and Rogan. So yeah, we're looking for a new apartment, and it's always tricky because you gotta try to find something in your price range. You gotta find something with when you have a dog, you gotta find something with good parks nearby that you can walk to. And I thought I found this one apartment that looked decent, but they didn't have any good walkable parks. So it's all had to be had to drive to, and that's the last thing I want to be doing at the end of a workday is driving to a park. I want to walk to my parks, Georgie. But, and then also trying to find, we're getting up there in age. Do I ask friends to help me move, or do I have to try to find a moving company? You gotta start thinking about that. What do costs allow you to do? It's so much going into it. Have you ever moved before, George?
Only a half dozen times.
Yeah.
As a Chicago resident, I have lived here for 3 years, or I guess this is my third year, and this is my third apartment. So,
damn.
Yep, that's just how it happens here in Chicago.
That's
Rent
fair.
goes up, you gain a roommate, you lose a roommate.
One thing I will say, I'm going back to Omaha. One thing I really liked about Omaha was I moved in to my first apartment. Rent never went up. I lived there for 5 years. Rent never got moved a single dime. And that was really nice. So I was able to stay in the same spot. Then I moved across country. Now, fucking, you just said it. Going up in rent costs is insane. Like I never really experienced that living in Omaha, Georgie. It's inflation's killing me right now.
Inflation's killing you.
Yeah, man.
You know, I think it's probably the heat that's killing you.
It could be that too. Everyone's saying it's supposed to be cooler by this time or like this time of the year, but we maxed out at 102 degrees to get it today. So if they're saying it's supposed to be cooler and we maxed out at 102 degrees, I'm not super thrilled. Like
Nice. We're in the mid 60s up here.
that's nice.
Yeah, no, it's the one time of year when the weather's really nice. Um, before it gets too cold, we get like a few
Yeah.
weeks of just the greatest weather. I'll take. I don't, I don't know. I actually feel like the spring melt is a better weather. It's like
Mm,
melting spring and like just getting crispy fall.
I'm gonna
Those are the
disagree with you on that. I'm gonna have that reversed. Why do I have the crispy fall first, you asked though, Georgie?
why.
Is because it's in the title of spring, melting spring. It's so fucking muddy. So fucking muddy. With
Yes.
with the crisp fall, dude, it's not muddy out. It's just fresh, cool air. It's spooky season. Fucking love it.
It is nice, but for me, like again, you didn't have a winter this year. Um,
I disagree. I disagree.
you had snow like once.
Three times here in Tucson proper, in the city of Tucson, we had snow 3 times.
Yeah, how
Just
many
saying.
inches? How many inches?
No comment.
Nobody had to put like plastic folding chairs out on the curb to protect their parking spot
Fuck George. They
because of
might
all
as
the
well
snow.
have. They might as well have without how bad they are here when snow hits. It
What,
was,
you guys get like 2 inches and the whole place shuts down?
dude. It didn't even stick to the ground, and everyone was freaking out. And I'm like, guys, it's not even like it's like I'm like I'm still going 10 over in this weather, like it's not even concerned to slow down yet. And everyone's going like 25 under, and I'm like, you guys are more dangerous than I am right now.
No, that's man. I'm just jealous. I honestly would love to. I don't think I ever need winter again.
It is
I,
quite lovely, George.
I had this discussion a few years ago with a friend. Like when I was a kid, so I was a Florida kid until I was 8.
Hmm.
And then when I was 8, we moved up to Illinois, got all this snow, and it was awesome. I loved snow. I loved playing out in the snow, sledding, building a snowman, snowballs. Like now that I'm an adult and I'm not going to play out in the snow, snow is only an inconvenience for me.
Yep. Yep.
And especially like, I take public transit to commute to work and there's some
Hmm.
walking involved. And I just got to like get frostbite on my face. No, I don't need winter ever again. And people who fall in love with it, you're morons. You're morons who love to be late to stuff. That's all I have to say to you. I hate winter. I know I made fun of Arizona 2 minutes ago, but secretly, I'm jealous.
George, it was the greatest thing ever. When I first moved here, it was like November, and I just missed the first big snowstorm in Nebraska when I left. I just missed it. I got a little sprinkling in, so I felt comfortable leaving the Midwest with getting a little sprinkling of snow in. I didn't need a big snowstorm. I literally just missed it. It was so nice. But when I got here, everyone was like in winter jackets at 65 degrees, and I'm just like rocking shorts and a t-shirt, and they're like, "You're a madman," and I'm like, "I just moved from the Midwest." They're like, "You're going to be gone by summer." Well, here I am, Georgie. Here I am. I made it through summer. We're about to go get cooler weather. Next week, it looks like we're going to be maxed out in the 80s. Fingers
Wow.
crossed. Dude, I'm
Have
excited.
have you turned into one of those Arizona jerks who's always like, "Well, it's a dry heat."
100%.
I hate you
Because
so much.
the dry heat is so much better than humidity. I hate humidity, George. As a big guy, you should be in on it with me because humidity sucks ass. As soon
I
as you step outside, you're sweating.
I
With the
am.
dry
You
heat, you're
I'm
not.
just upset you've turned into a stereotype.
I've always been a dry heat over humidity, though, coming from Colorado. So it's in my blood, it's in my DNA,
No.
even though my parents are from the Midwest, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I grew up in an environment where on certain days you can taste the air.
Yeah. Yeah, because fucking corn sweats, and that's why the Midwest is just humid as shit. Unreal.
Yeah. Is that really it? Corn
Yes,
sweats?
corn sweats. And the Mississippi and Missouri gives off more humidity than people actually think. But because corn sweats also,
Because
it's because, yes.
be 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 Coors, the banquet beer.
Oh gosh.
Had to
Sponsor
do
us, please.
had to do my very bad Sam Elliott impression.
I love me a good old Coors banquet. Mm.
Gotta love a Coors, the banquet beer. I'm done.
Um,
I'm probably
what
not
was
done,
I
but I'm done
saying?
for now.
Okay. Yeah, because corn sweats is why it gets so humid in the Midwest. So,
I'm trying to picture corn sweating, like how that works and makes sense.
right?
And
If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be so humid, and they wouldn't be sweating so much. But because they're there, they cause it themselves to sweat, which causes us to sweat, which causes us to hate our lives during the summer
hmm,
there.
I
So,
think corn. I think we need to look into corn.
how
Like,
so?
what's the deal? So I'm just finding out that corn perspires in a way that adds to the humidity in my area, in my region. Um, but so corn sweats and causes humidity. Corn doesn't digest,
Yep.
you know, kind of suspect that you poop out full kernels of corn. You know, we're always like, oh, that's cool. Kind of disturbing. Um,
Also, most of the corn that's produced isn't even for consumption for humans.
it's for animals.
Yeah.
And do you remember, like, growing up in your history class, you would learn about um, the Native Americans' corn, how it
Hmm.
was like different colors,
Yeah.
and we turned our corn just yellow.
We turned it boring as fuck, like
Yeah,
Nebraska.
I have some questions about that. Hmm.
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 Maybe corn's not that good for us.
But it tastes damn good. And okay,
It is delicious. It is.
Illinois has some of the best sweet corn out there. Like, I'm throwing it out there. Illinois,
I
quote me
feel.
on that.
I
Quote
mean,
me.
as an Illinois resident, I appreciate it. We do have great sweet corn, but I feel like that was a thinly veiled shot at the state of Nebraska again.
No, this is from living in two of these three states I'm going to be talking about, and visiting this third state. enough to basically know enough about the state to say I'm a resident. Not really, but enough that I know my shit. Nebraska has the worst corn of Nebraska, Iowa, and Illinois. Nebraska is known for their corn. Iowa has better corn. Overall, Iowa has the best corn, but Illinois has the best sweet corn.
Okay.
And you can quote me on that.
I'll take your word for it. I gotta say,
Some can call me a corn connoisseur.
a cornosaur, if you will.
A connoisseur, yes.
A cornosaur. I wish I could tell the difference. There's no way you could put like different states' sweet corn in front of me, and I'm gonna be like, oh, this is the sweetness profile in the Illinois sweet corn.
Yeah,
is
those
so
wine
different from the Iowa.
sommeliers. I'm a corn sommelier.
My cousin's husband is a sommelier, and
Oh yeah.
it is so funny because we will get together and he'll bring wine to some event. His name's George too, by the way. He'll bring wine to an event, and I want to
Just
try
mix it with
his
Coke.
wine and be supportive. I'm not a huge wine drinker, and I don't like, my palate is so ignorant that it's just like, this is tasty. I'm like Michael Scott in The Office. This is a white. Like, I know the names, but I couldn't tell you the difference between a Cabernet and a Pinot Noir. They taste the same to me. And I know they don't. I know deep down they don't. But to me,
I get
it's
it.
the same.
I'm the same with wine. Wine is just blows me away. Or maybe our palates are so much better that wine is just so below us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I enjoy wine best mixed with Coca-Cola.
Exactly. What do you call those again?
Calimochos, baby.
Yes, Calimocho.
Calimochos.
Best with Italian wine, obviously.
That's another it's another cousin adopted drink in my life. So a Calimocho is 1 part red wine and 1 part Coca-Cola. And it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's really just not that great, and something that you and I drank way too much of in college.
Way too much of. But honestly, I only drank them with you, but damn, they were tasty. I was so hesitant the first time that you had me try it, and I'm like, I don't know about this. Okay, this is going to be the most tangent here.
This is going to be the most blasphemous. Are you going to tell the story of Calimochos?
No, I have a question about the Italy trip. If you remember this one night, so
let's provide context for our listeners.
Okay, go ahead.
I introduced Sean to Calimochos on accident. We took a class trip in college to Rome, Italy. And while we were at a restaurant, the restaurant brought out, there was like 20 of us at the table. The restaurant brought out Coke and red wine to be consumed separately. And again, my hillbilly ass was like, have you guys ever mixed these? And I got everybody drinking them.
But they were delicious. This is not that night I'm talking about. Again, this is like the sidest of tangents from that trip. I think it was our last night in Italy, and we were playing What Are the Odds? And then I lost What Are the Odds? And I had to mix like the limoncello, like the 3 different after dinner liqueurs together. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Dude, I think about that combination so much because it tasted so good. And I can't remember I just remember it was limoncello. It tasted so good, Georgie, and I just want it back. Like I want it back in my life, and I think
M-
about it at least once a week.
Mix all three, like the three different shots.
Yes,
They're
that
so.
was they were so different, but it worked. It worked.
How could you drink those together? That's disgusting to me.
I lost the game. I had to do it, and it worked out. I don't know how it worked out, but it tasted so good, and it's locked in my memory now. And like legit, I think about it once a week at least, maybe more.
I always
I guess it goes back to the Roman Empire because we were in Rome, so you know.
I don't know the names for those three shots either. So I remember calling them lemonade, mouthwash, and motor oil.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, they were, and like separately, the limoncello was the best, but the other two were like meh. But mixed together, man, they were next level. They were next level. I can't like.
That's yeah.
Was that Mark Monday? Was that the same night that we went out for Mark Monday and got absolutely shit faced with Mark?
Oh man, how much of that night can we share on a public platform?
That's like
Uh,
almost a whole nother topic, like a whole nother day.
we need to dedicate an entire episode to A, our Italy trip, B, Mark Mondays, and C, Cali Mochos. I think that's
Mark Monday was wild.
we should do a full account of our Italy trip. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, first night in Rome, man. Me and oh man, who's it? John?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
We should get some of the crew on the podcast.
dude. I'd be down. I'd be down.
Have a little get together.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. All this stemmed from moving. By the way,
Oh, I
guys.
know. Can you tell how badly we don't want to talk about moving? Because of how much it sucks. We're gonna go from moving to weather to corn to what was our next jump?
uh, corn sommelier, then a
Corn
wine
sommeliers
sommelier to Italy.
to wine to Coke, Coca-Cola for the kids listening. We are a drug-free podcast, and then to Italy, and we're 22 minutes in.
And we're back to moving. Because Georgie, you did some moving. What was it? Yesterday?
Yeah, not so much from not so much from home to home, but from seat to seat at a baseball stadium. So,
Mm.
um, so had a work event, and a bunch of people from my office. We got tickets to a White Sox game. Now, for those of you who know, I'm a Cubs fan, but I'm never going to turn down a free ticket. And I'm going to say something as a Cubs fan. There are some things that the White Sox do better, and we need to admit that. The number one thing, concessions.
Mm.
Incredible. This is the best kept secret in baseball. That the Chicago White Sox have the best concessions out of any place I've ever been to. Now, I haven't been to all the stadiums, but at Wrigley Field, you can get a hot dog, you can get a burger, you can get a brat. You know, it is your standard baseball fare. At the White Sox games, some of the sections I saw, so you can get all those normal ballpark items. You can get pizza, you can get barbecue, you can get tacos, you can get
Ooh.
churros, you can get nachos, you can get um, like different types of sausage. There are so many different things. The best item, you can get like elotes, which is, Sean, as you know,
Corn.
corn.
Street corn. Dude.
Our let's just try to incorporate corn into as much as we can tonight. I think that's the move.
Love me some corn.
The best item on the menu by a mile is the Cuban sandwich. You ever had a Cuban, Sean?
A Cuban sandwich? Hell yeah, I've had a Cuban. Those things are tasty.
So good. And the White Sox Cuban, I have to get it every time I go, is just perfect. Like they toast the bread, but it's buttery. So good. So good. Anyway, I'm there, work event, not terribly invested in the White Sox. They got beat 13-4 last night, by the way.
Yikes. Yikes.
They're so
Who
bad.
did they play?
The Diamondbacks. They're so bad.
Let's go Diamondbacks.
You've lived in Arizona. You haven't lived in there long enough. You're
I have
fan.
to cheer for the state when it. Yeah, I'm a Cubs fan.
Don't do
But
this.
therefore, I still have to. Okay, we're not going to get into it.
There's a wild card race right now. I don't know if you know. Both teams are in the thick of it. But yeah. So, one of my really good buddies from work and I were sitting in like the lower bowl, and the White Sox. Not a lot of people go. There's a lot of empty seats. So seat hopping is a thing. The trick, you get upper deck seats. By the third inning, you get to move downstairs wherever you want. Their attendance is awful. My buddy and I were looking, and we are right next to like this luxury section in right field. These comfy seats, big screen TVs right in front of you, like a table, or a tabletop to put your food.
Nice.
It was like flying first class, and we were sitting in economy, and there's two people occupying maybe 30 seats. And so my buddy and I are like, he turns to me and he says, "We're taking two of those seats. Walk with me." Like, no option. I was like, all right. We go sit down there, and 2 minutes, we're doing okay. Nobody challenges us. Nobody asks us for our tickets. We're down there 2 good minutes. Two more of our coworkers, good friends of ours too, come down to join us. And now 2 becomes 4. And all of a sudden, the security guard, who there are jerk security guards who are like, "I need to see your ticket." That'll really go after you. This was not that situation. This was a security guard who was so upset that we were forcing her to do our job. We were in the wrong.
You forced her hand.
She was like, "Damn it, there are 20 people at this game, and I'm going to have to yell at 4 of them." She was so mad, and I don't blame her.
If it was just you two, you probably would have been fine. The other 2, it's a party now.
Exactly. Exactly. So she comes over, she's like, she had this look on her face like, "Please don't make me fight with you." I can't believe I have to do this. I don't want to, but you gotta go. She's like, "Can I see your tickets?" And the one guy who's like got all the tickets on his phone is like, "Oh yeah, let me show him." He tries to do the move where he shows her the tickets, thinking she'll just be like, "Okay," even though they're not in our section. And she's just like, "Yeah, that's the wrong ticket." She's like, "Please don't make me get you thrown out." And we're just like, "Fine," Yeah. It was so sad because all she wanted to do was go home. It was a bad game. 10 people are there. It was like kind of raining. She's miserable.
Yeah.
She's like, please, just go away. And so we walk off. I'm going to, Anyway, I felt bad. But the question is,
yes,
Sean,
what's the question?
Do you think seat hopping should be allowed at professional sporting events?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I think one of the tricks you're missing here, Georgie, when you're doing the seat hopping, is you need to open up a ticket app and look to see what seats are available, what seats haven't been purchased. I know White Sox game, you're going to be fine wherever you go.
That's
But
true.
when you are doing this at a professional level, you got to be professional in your tactics here. One, you don't go for the cushy, comfy seats. Those security guards, they're going to be a little bit more stricter. Two, you look at the ticket app. You know, like whether it's SeatGeek, Game Time, Ticketmaster. You look at the ticket app and you try to find tickets that are still available. So then that way you can go to those seats and no, you won't have to worry about anyone showing up because no one bought those tickets.
That's a good move. That's a good move. Good point. Kind of like saying be artful with it.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that. We weren't. We were just like the section
Confidence
over.
is also key. You know.
See, like the first two, I think we had that.
Yeah.
Like
Confidence.
we said nothing and walked up.
Yep.
And then the other
Four's the
two,
party though.
made it a party, you know?
Yeah.
We immediately blamed them. But
100%.
the worst part is this was such a comfy seat. It was like cushioned. It was like a first class airplane seat.
That sucks. That sucks.
And then I got sent back to economy. And like I actually think the White Sox have nice stadium seats for what it's
Hmm.
worth. They're pretty comfy, but they're like a hard metal.
Yeah.
So I get out of the cushy seat. I go back to my regular seat, and it was
Mhm.
immediately so uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's tough to get back to that.
I didn't feel it the whole game, but as soon as I got a small taste of how the other half lives, I'm just like, oh, now I have to sit in this metal chair like a peasant. Oh,
Uh,
it was awful. We got booed by strangers too.
Damn. For the seat hopping?
Yeah. So like our group from work, they were all booing us as we got kicked
Okay.
out. And then all of the other 12 fans that were at the game that stuck it out to the 8th inning were booing us too. It was hilarious. But it was you know, we flew too close to the sun on that one, I think.
Yeah.
So so you say you can move seats, play it right.
Yep.
And I'll take lesson learned. I think that's
Yeah.
fair. I think
No,
that's
I
fair.
think I think you be artful about it, but definitely like you're already paying the money to be there. You know, like it costs unless if you're going to the what is it Mercedes Benz Stadium where like concessions are dirt cheap, then respect the seating there
Where's
because
that?
Atlanta, Georgia,
Oh, is that the one that has like all Chick-fil-A in it?
something like that, and like but like the concessions are actually reasonably priced, like because the owner of the stadium wants people to be able to come out to a game and not lose like spend an arm and a leg going to a game because the tickets are already so expensive.
Well, that's
Like
awfully nice of them.
hell yeah, it's like Costco having a $1.50 hot dog and drink combo, and they're never gonna change that. Fucking gold, you know.
Love the Costco hot dog.
No free sponsorships though, but Costco, we're open for a sponsorship.
Costco, call us. I got my golf clubs at Costco.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice. I get my golf balls there and my golf gloves.
You play K-Sigs?
Yes, dude, I go through so many balls. I have to go with the Kirklands.
Oh my god. But
Uh, Speaking of sponsorships, though, we got another ad read here. And there's nothing better to get you through a little podcast recording than some homemade beef jerky. So let's crack open this bad boy and
That is
let's
the
give it a.
biggest bag of jerky I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
dude, I threw all 3 pounds of it together so that way I could just kind of, if someone wants all of it, I could have just sold it all in one slab. But let's
That
find
looks
a piece
delicious.
here. Ooh. But yeah, here we go. A nice little small piece. But beef jerky, got beef jerky seasoning. Georgie, another thing I haven't been asked yet was actually the price of seasonings. And that is delicious beef jerky. But I gotta figure out my seasoning prices because someone finally asked me to buy my 11 pepper seasoning kit. And you heard
11
that right.
peppers?
11 peppers. 11 plus peppers. I can confirm there are 11 peppers in there, but there's more. I guarantee. I know for sure. Because it has everything from sweet Italian peppers to Carolina Reaper. And it is so tasteful. A little goes a long way. And it is a great seasoning kit. But, it's not for the weak. It's got some kick.
Got
I
some kick
also
to it?
make a lemon pepper seasoning with it as well. I get some lemon zest and then I throw.
Ooh.
Don't even get me started. But again, reach out to us at witsandsnacks@gmail.com so you can hear more about the product. Like I can go on and on about my product here. I love my product. It's tasty. I know it's good. So reach out to us, witsandsnacks@gmail.com, and we can hook you up.
Show us that bag one more time.
I'll show it one more time. Boom! 3 pounds. 3 pounds, baby.
That is just a huge bag. I love
Huge bag. Huge bag.
How much would that cost, the bag?
3 pounds we sell for $90.
Okay.
Yeah, so it sounds pricey, but 3 pounds goes a long way. I'll also divvy it up by pound bag, so that way it doesn't, you don't have to open it up and eat it right away. I'll even divvy it up into half-pound bags if you want. Might get a little bit more pricey because I have to use more equipment, but
Mm.
we want to help the customers and make it last as long as they can. So always willing to help the customers out here.
Well,
So delicious.
talk about options.
Options, baby. Options.
Talk about options. We love our Wits End snacks. Hoping to secure some jerky here pretty soon. We'll talk off air.
We do ship also across the country. So we do have a season, like we use a seasoning to let it cure, so that way it can be shelf stable. And we do overnight shipping for you.
Then we'll really have to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, get your Wits End jerky, Wits End snacks. But we are going to be moving on here in a little bit. Actually, right now. I'm sorry. It's late again. But yeah, let's segue into our rundown segment. So talking about the biggest stories across college and professional football. Sean, we are going to lead it off with arguably the biggest game in college football last weekend. Notre Dame Fighting Irish in their green uniforms, beautiful, beautiful green uniforms, drops a heartbreaker to Ohio State. Last second touchdown for the Buckeyes, 17-14. Sean, on the last two plays, Notre Dame had 10 men on the field. Your
Not
thoughts?
only did they have 10 men, there was also a false start that the refs fucking missed. We're not going to talk about that. That would have won us the game. The interception in the last play would have won us the game. But 10 men on the field. Like, George, there's just so much. There's so much. There's just so much. We ran the ball too much, I felt like. We should have aired it out a little bit with Sam Hartman, who we'll be talking about it later on, is one of my favorites for Heisman. Um, but I think we didn't have the best called game by us, by the refs. But that being said, the green uniforms with the gold helmets. Oh, I just said helmets, helmets,
Helmets.
helmets, helmets.
That
The
hold on. Sidebar. That would be a great if you have like a spicy mint.
Yeah.
Use your
Oh,
11 spices
yes,
on a mint.
yes. I
Helmets.
love helmets. Helmets. I like that. I
All
like
right.
that.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Just I
Simon.
just needed to let you know that before I lost it.
But yeah. Anyways, the green uniforms with the gold helmet. I love it. It's a crisp look. I love the green uniforms. I thought they were going to come out and win, and they looked really good. Seeing them drop to 11 just kind of sucked, but that's what happens when you lose. So they got a tough week, but I'm scarred from that game. I'm scarred.
it was hard. It was hard. The officiating, I feel like every game you can find a situation where the referees are the problem. I know something that I remember when I played any sport, coaches would say, control what you can control. And that's your own preparation, your own attention to detail. And that's where I'm more disappointed. I thought
Hmm.
Notre Dame played a good game. I thought Ohio State played well too. It was two evenly matched teams up until the end. Kind of a clean game on both ends. Both teams playing
Yeah,
really well defensively. Um, and then the offenses picked it up in the second half. But the control what you can control, Notre Dame didn't do that. It's unacceptable to have 10 guys on the field at any time.
agreed.
It is
Agreed.
unacceptable.
Especially right after a timeout.
Yes,
Like
agreed.
there's no, like, why? It frustrates me, George.
I
Like,
I coached high school, and 2 years I had a lot of kids that were new to football at the high
yeah,
school level. I think we had 10 men on the field maybe once in 2 years. And that's high school. In college, a Division 1 program, unacceptable. Um,
like primetime game too. Like it's so unacceptable to have 10 men on the field.
I
But unbelievable,
yeah.
unbelievable.
Question about the green uniforms though. They were
Yes.
nice. They were very
Hmm.
cool. Feel like Notre Dame's green uniforms have caused the fan base quite a bit of trauma over the years. They of course wore green during the Bush Push game. There was another game too. I think in between these two that they wore green that went awfully. Um,
Yep. I'm fairly certain I remember that game too. Yeah.
they never, they have
The
terrible luck
green
in green.
uniforms, they're crisp. They're crisp, but
They
it
are so
also brings
nice,
tragedy. Brings tragedy a lot of the
man.
times. I feel
It
like. So that's just tough. But damn, do they look good? They look
they
sexy.
do. They do. I wish the green uniforms didn't come with such tragedy.
Yeah.
Um, but it was nice to see Notre Dame stacking up with Ohio State. A year ago, they got hit hard,
Yeah, they did.
and this year they were playing with one of the best teams in the country. They were right there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Got to fix some things if you're Notre Dame, but not an awful performance. But it was
No.
it was heartbreaking that they didn't seal the deal.
Yes. Yeah.
So, um, yeah, we're
All right.
both we're both a little sad. So let's move on, Sean.
Yep. Our next story that we're going to talk about is Colorado just getting absolutely pummeled, pummeled, Georgie,
Pummeled,
by Oregon. Pummeled,
humbled. Oh,
pummeled.
I heard
They got
I heard
pummeled.
pummeled. I'm sorry.
I said pummeled. They got pummeled. I'm not saying humbled. They got pummeled.
Oh, are you making up a word?
Is pummeled not a word?
No, it's pummeled. No B. I thought you were mixing pummeled and humbled.
Is pummeled is not a word. Wow. All right. Yeah, I'm making up a
It's a
word,
word
Georgie.
now. Pummeled.
It's a word.
It's a
They got
word now.
pummeled
Pummeled.
because they did.
We're coining it. We're coining it. Pummeled. Sean, can you give us a dictionary definition for pumble?
Yeah, it's when you get humbled by getting shit pumped so badly.
Pummeled. We
They lost 42-6. They looked soft out there. It was it was absolutely brutal to watch. Did you watch any of it, Georgie?
I got to watch the first half. I will admit that I stopped watching.
I don't blame you.
I had to travel, but the beginning of the game, even from the jump, we like Colorado. They are the story of college football this year, deservedly so. I think they're still a great team, but they got a taste of what a top tier Division I program is like.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those guys transferring from Jackson State, you just can't replicate
Mhm.
what it's like to go into Autzen Stadium, one of the toughest places to play in America. And, you know, I honestly think they gave their best. And Oregon's
They,
just like, we know what we're doing. Welcome
yeah.
to the show.
And here's what I'll say. It's not for lack of trying to get that atmosphere in place during practice. Because during practice last week, the coaches were walking around practice with speakers like right in the players, so that way like you could try to get the sense of the loudness of that stadium. But until you're actually in the stadium that loud, it's you won't be able to get that effect. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can do so much you can during practice, but you'll never be able to accurately represent what it feels like because you don't have, what is it, 60,000 people or something like that or more. I can't remember how many people they had in there, but
So many.
like you can't replicate that at practice. It's impossible. So they
No.
did the best that they could, but it's never going to be enough when you're going into a stadium like that.
Yeah, and obviously you don't want to lose that badly in any
Never.
game. But if you're Colorado, you have overachieved to this point. You
Yeah.
have exceeded everyone's expectations at the beginning of the season. Um, I don't think this loss is like damning or it's over. Um, it's this is a program that is going to take time to build up. This team wasn't going to go undefeated, and I'm guessing many people had Oregon circled as their first huge test. So here we are. They failed the test. They didn't fail the class. They didn't fail the
Yep.
semester. Just one test.
Yeah.
They'll be okay. I really think they'll be okay. Travis Hunter's back in a few weeks.
hmm
I'm not
One
concerned.
thing, one thing I loved. Travis Hunter was trying to come back for this week. I don't know if you saw this, but he texted Coach Prime. He's trying to get back, but Coach Prime is just class, dude. He's straight class. He is truly a coach that cares about the player, um, cares about the person more the than just as a player. Cure person analysis, as us Jesuits would like to say, care for the whole person, and but he was like no, in order for you to best help the team, you need to be full strength. We don't want you coming back early. No, I love seeing that from a coach. Just really caring about the whole person and not just the results on the field. You know,
Yeah, no, and it's great. I think this is a bad week, but I think the train keeps rolling.
100%.
in Colorado. And I think all the credit to Dion. I still think they did a lot better than I thought they would. So, happy for them. And we'll see how they got USC this week. I don't know how well they're
Yes.
going to cover. this,
Another tough game.
this might be a rough stretch.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to expect from that game, especially after seeing what happened with Oregon. But hope for the best, plan for the worst, So hopefully that they're doing the preparations that they need to be doing, keeping their head down and just grinding, so that way they can try to come out on top. I think is what they need to be doing. As
Well,
Vince Lombardi likes to say, if we aim for perfection, we can catch excellence. Or no, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase it, we can catch excellence. There we go. I
yeah,
always get there.
you get there. The way, nobody's perfect. Vince Lombardi. So, he gets it. Outside of those two games, we had a few more ranked games this week. This was again big week for college football. Some of the other big games across the country. Penn State absolutely pummeled Iowa 31-0. I would argue that's a worse
Humbled.
pummeling. Are we shocked that
Was
Iowa
it?
put up 0 points?
No,
Utah
not at
beats
all.
Go Hawks. Utah beats UCLA 14-7.
Whew.
Alabama over Ole Miss 14-10. Big scoring game of the week. Washington State over Oregon State 38-35. And what I think was one of the most fun games of the weekend, Florida State beating Clemson in overtime 31-24. Sean, out of these games, which one sticks out to you? Biggest game, most fun?
All right, I absolutely loved the Florida State Clemson game. I was electric because I'm like, holy shit, is Georgia about to have to eat crow with Florida State here? But no, they came back. They did what they do, and they won. But Clemson, I can't remember. They've beaten Florida State the last number of times. I feel like so. Like there is that sitting in the back of their minds. But they came out on top, and they really shut them down in overtime there, which was beautiful to see. Uh, I love the Washington State and Oregon State game too. I love high scoring games. I'm a points guy. Um, but the game that I thought was kind of interesting was the Alabama and Ole Miss game. Um, it just was so much low scoring than I was expecting those teams to be. And if I remember correctly, Bama wasn't looking too hot in the first half. But they came back out, obviously, and won. But it just wasn't like it was a game that I wasn't expecting the score to look like that for.
Yeah, the SEC has just kind of looked fine, haven't they?
Yeah, they haven't looked great. They haven't looked outstanding. They lived fine. Yeah, they're doing fine.
Like, I feel like Pac-12 and Big Ten are looking a lot nicer. Texas is doing their thing down in Big 12
Yeah.
and Oklahoma too. Um, you may remember I was a big believer in Texas. I was
Mm.
I was
Was
first.
that the school you were in? Yeah.
I was first to back the Longhorns. You told me not to, but I was like, I
Not
believe.
not the Sooners, right?
I believe in Texas. Um, but yeah, SEC just kind of okay. We'll see what happens come playoff time,
Mm-hmm.
but not terribly impressed. Big game for me. I just love that Iowa got goose egged. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't have a real reason to hate Iowa, but I just like they started scoring points early on in the year, and some of our friends from college who were Hawkeye fans just started like posting on Facebook and Twitter, like, oh, maybe this is the year they turn it around. Iowa's looking good. They're ranked. They're undefeated. This is the Hawkeyes. I'm sorry to say. And it
Yeah.
was so nice to just see those Facebook posts and tweets turn back into Hawkeye depression.
And here's
So
what
dark.
I kind of want to say something to this game. This is a representation of the Big Ten East versus the Big Ten West. Like the Big Ten East, I feel like is just way more dominant. You have Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan. Who do you have on the West? You got Wisconsin, Iowa, who just got shit pummeled. Like
Shit pummeled.
we're not even gonna mention Nebraska. Fucking, they're going up against Michigan this week. They're going to get pummeled. You know, like
I'm thinking like Pumbaa from The Lion King. Every time you say pummeled. Oh my god. Moving.
That's moving right along.
Moving right along, we will shift into our biggest stories in the NFL. Two interesting games this weekend for your favorite teams, Sean. We start with your Denver Broncos.
Mm.
What was the score? Broncos Dolphins, Sean? Do you remember?
It was like Broncos had 20. They had a great 20-point game.
Yeah, nice 20-point outing for the Broncos. Too bad the Dolphins scored 70. But yeah, 5 touchdowns on the ground, 5 in the air.
7 touchdowns. Come on.
Dolphins 2 points shy of the highest scoring game in the Super Bowl era. We'll talk about the Dolphins in a minute, but man, your Broncos, you were going through it. And as a consolation, right as that game was over, your other team, the Chicago Bears, got pummeled by the Chiefs 41-0. Sean, your teams are going through it right now. 0-3, awful losses this weekend. Which team do you think's the bigger mess?
I mean, like, the Broncos got 20 points. So, I mean, like,
but they gave up 70, Sean.
Exactly. Like, dude, it was tough to watch, man. Like, it was sad, and I was addicted to it, man. I don't know what was sadder, me actually watching the game or me wanting to keep watching the game in hopes that they're going to try to make a comeback of some sort. Maybe try to get another touchdown. It's a sick addiction I have, this hope I have for my fucking teams that, like, never pays out, man. You want to hear something really sick? When the fucking Broncos went to the Super Bowl 48 against the fucking Seahawks, who they lost to? Russell fucking Wilson. Why the fuck did we hire him? I don't fucking know. But anyways, while we were watching this game, you might remember because it was in the dorm rooms, Georgie. And I was the only one cheering for the Broncos. I don't know if you remember this.
That's not true.
Everyone did not want me to win.
That's not true. No, I hated the Seahawks.
But you wanted to see me in pain. Don't even lie.
No, I was hammered. I didn't care who was winning that game. I was so drunk.
Oh, yeah, but you were part of the enjoyment of seeing me in pain. I do remember that.
That's the one Super Bowl I don't remember.
I made so many bets with people in the dorm room that during the game, at halftime, I made bets with people. And everyone just felt so sorry for me after that they tried giving me my money back. I'm like, no. I don't know what's worse, the embarrassment from that Super Bowl or the embarrassment for this game. What I'm really pissed about in this game, Georgie, is Coach Mike McDaniel. Fuck him. He should have broke the goddamn record. That little spineless piece of shit Break
No.
the fucking record. You
All right.
already embarrassed us. Break the fucking record.
First of all, this segment is to talk about the Bears and the Broncos. So
Sorry.
you keep my coach's name out of your fucking mouth. Second, all right, that was a team captain decision. All right, and he went with his captains. That's a good coach.
Fuck that captain.
You
Fuck that
shut up.
captain.
You shut up.
What captain? What captain? Tua?
It was all of them. It was all the captains.
Boo.
I don't care who it is. Why do you immediately assume it's Tua? You a Tua hater?
No, he has too many concussions like me.
Yeah, maybe you should be nicer to him. Anyway, Bears Broncos. I feel like the Broncos have a coach and a quarterback that like they're veterans.
Yeah.
And I trust that a lot more than what's going on with the Bears. That coaching staff is a nightmare.
Nightmare.
And honestly, Alan Williams, the guy that left under the most mysterious circumstances ever, we probably shouldn't talk about it. Maybe not the worst.
Maybe.
This whole staff, Luke Getsy calling plays saying, we have the second fastest quarterback in the NFL. Let's keep him in the pocket.
Yeah.
Let's have this guy make all of his reads versus an offensive line that's an OSHA violation. Like I got no, like the Broncos looked bad, but the Bears looked sad. And that's kind of the difference for me.
Yeah.
Those coaches are gone at this point. And honestly, you should fire them now.
Agreed.
The Broncos have something. Not a lot, but like 20 points worth of something. Anyway, moving on from the worst teams to the best teams in football. Sean, we got a few teams at the top starting to separate themselves as maybe the cream of the crop, the league contenders. Who stands out to you as teams that improved or maybe hurt their stock this weekend?
I definitely think the Chiefs, like when you go up against the Bears, it just makes you look good. It also might have been, we're going to get into this a little bit more also, might have been because Taylor Swift was there, but we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah. We're very Taylor Swift heavy at the end of this podcast.
Pro Taylor
Spoiler
Swift
alert.
podcast. Pro Taylor Swift. 100%.
We like Taylor.
But, so there's a couple reasons why the Chiefs could have looked good out there, Another team, I think I might mention all the teams that you're going to mention, but Chiefs, Dolphins, and that they looked solid. The Bills looked fucking solid. They put up 34-3 or some shit like that.
Yeah, they're kind of back.
They're coming back. They need to just find their feeding a little bit after the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. So I think there's a couple teams I'm excited for. The Eagles barely. Not barely. They got by. I didn't get to watch the whole game, so I could be misrepresenting here, but I expected more from the Eagles. Mainly because Devontae Smith did not give me enough fantasy points as I needed. So that's what I'm kind of mad about.
So it's a fantasy thing.
Maybe.
Maybe. I think the Eagles in the NFC, it's Eagles and 49ers.
Yes.
Those are the two top teams. I think the Cowboys, the Cardinals aren't bad. They're a lot better than we thought they were.
Yeah.
But you can't lose to the Cardinals.
No.
If you're the Cowboys. Unacceptable loss. Unacceptable to lose by that much. It's unfortunate. The Cowboys look great for stretches. I like Dak as a quarterback. I do. And then at some point, and maybe it's good that it's early, it just falls apart. And this is like one of those fall apart games. I don't know, but Eagles and 49ers in the NFC, are the top teams that look great. AFC, I agree with you. Chiefs, Dolphins, obviously, with the way they're playing. The Bills are fighting to get up there. But
Take your bias out of here. Take your bias out of here.
It's not just because it's the Bills. It's Josh Allen for me. There's just he had a bad interception in this game where he just chucked it deep. Was like, screw it, somebody's down there, and threw, an interception, and it's just like, Mahomes isn't gonna do that.
No, Mahomes won't.
Jalen Hurts isn't gonna do that. Brock Purdy and Tua are their own little read the defense and call audible nerd type players. But those other guys are good athletes and have stronger arms. They're not making those mistakes like Josh Allen is. So I just don't trust it. I just don't trust it. So that's just me. So, but moving into our got a little bit of a lightning round here. A couple things we want to cover. So we're going to be real quick with these. What do we want to call these? Lightning round, quickies.
Nah, we'll figure it out.
Quickies. I have a coworker. She's older. She's so sweet. And when she has to ask me a question, she'll just be like, "George, you got time for a quickie?" And I'm like,
Oh.
And I know she doesn't mean it.
She means well.
She doesn't mean it sexually. But every time, and I've seen her ask other people, "You got time for a quickie?" Nope. No, I don't. Human resources. We're not calling them quickies, but we're calling them quickies tonight. So moving right into it. Sean, favorites for the Heisman. Who do you got?
I already mentioned one of them, Sam Hartman. I like him. If I remember correctly, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. I could be wrong. I can't remember. But he's looking good. He's looking solid. Again, this game, they didn't utilize him as well as they should have. Another one, I like Shador. He's got a little flair, he might be a little. Both of these are more. I feel like that could be underdogs for this, But who's the QB for fucking Oregon? I can't remember his name.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. He looked fucking solid out there, man.
He had a nuclear game against Colorado.
Dude, he's in my list right now. He made my list after seeing him this weekend. So those are my top three I have right now for Heisman. I like those.
I like your picks. Yeah. I like your picks. I got two more. I'll pick three just to match your three that I think are all up there. Quarterbacks as well. Caleb Williams. He's probably the best player in college football, regardless of if he wins the Heisman. USC hasn't really been tested yet. He's doing everything well, almost so good it's boring. We'll see what happens when he has a big test.
Notre Dame.
Michael Penix Jr. from Washington is my guy right now.
Ooh.
That dude is putting up insane numbers. 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I looked it up. I don't know how many yards, but it's a lot. He's just putting up gross numbers. Excuse me, allergies. And I just think he is doing really well. Jordan Travis for Florida State is a guy that I think needs to elevate a little bit. He's got some big games coming up. Obviously showed some poise in the second half versus Clemson, but I think he's got to put together some big performances down the stretch here to be included. I'm still sticking with my dark horse pick. I like Travis. We're just going to have to see where it goes from here. Next up, Aaron Rodgers has announced on the Pat McAfee show that his Achilles is healing up perfectly well. He had a new experimental procedures done on his Achilles, and he believes that he will come back and play for the Jets this season. Sean?
Unfortunately, ayahuasca doesn't cure Achilles ruptures. I don't think it's happening. I'm calling bullshit. If he comes back this season, his career's ending because he's going to get injured again and he's going to be out. Like, it's not happening.
I just love that after everything that happened with COVID, we get a full year of Aaron Rodgers continuing to deal with medical professionals and just tell like hundreds of years of science to
Fuck
go
you.
screw yourself. I love that we just get a front row seat to Aaron Rodgers just in defiance of science and God saying, well, I rubbed this special leaf on my ankle and my Achilles heals up. It's awesome. This is really the Aaron Rodgers we wanted to see. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, is great, but Aaron Rodgers, the whack job, is
Spot on.
really the most entertaining Aaron Rodgers. So I cannot wait to see a crystal around his neck sometime soon. I feel like that's next.
Our next thing that we're going to be talking about is one of my favorite things that I saw this weekend is the NIL deal for some Iowa State players. The players' names are Miles Purchase, Tyler Moore, Tommy Hammond, and Caleb Bacon. What could you be wondering that's for? Well, it's for the Iowa pork producers, Georgie. And they have them lined up in a picture, and it says, purchase more ham and bacon. And Georgie, I can't tell you how much I fucking love this.
Outside of corn, I get 5 points for adding corn to the conversation again. Outside of corn, that ad might be the most Iowan thing I've ever seen. Purchase more ham and bacon. They're like, the Iowa pork producers were just sitting in a meeting, and there's there's a Cyclone fan who's just like, those boys over at Iowa State got some funny names. I feel like we could make something out of this. And then they just like cracked themselves up so much that they had to roll with this idea.
100%, man.
I love it. It's quintessential Iowa, and I love it.
Yes.
I love everything.
It's so fucking funny. It's Iowa in a nutshell, man. It's gold.
And I love
like corn.
Like corn. This is a real corny podcast tonight. That one was cheap. I don't want credit for that one. Moving back to the NFL. Speaking of corn, feel like McCorkle Jones probably is kind of a corny dude. We're done. But Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner said on social media and to reporters this week that Mac Jones tried to hit him in the cojones. Sean.
Yeah. I saw the video, Georgie, and kind of looked like it, but you could also kind of go either way on it. But that being said, I'm going to go with he was trying to get a cheap shot on my boy Sauce Gardner. The Jets are down bad already. He's trying to kick them all down. It's a rivalry game. Like, why not? Why not? So I think Mac Jones might have done it.
I think he definitely did.
Yeah.
He got caught last year trying to kick who was that guy on the Bears?
I fucking thought that was right. Yeah, he He reminds me of he's the football version of who's the Duke player? Is it Grayson Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the football Grayson Allen.
That jerk. Who, by the way, was traded to the Phoenix Suns like 4 hours
fuck
ago.
that, dude. I know. I saw that.
We're not a basketball podcast. I am a Miami Heat fan. I have thoughts. I hope Joe Cronin gets a parking ticket tonight. But that's all I'm going to say about it. Maybe 2 parking tickets. No, we're going to do it. I hate you, Joe Cronin. I hate you so much. You scumbag clown. You are garbage. And I will go to church this Sunday and pray to my Lord and Savior that you run into Mac Jones someday and he kicks you in the nuts. That's how much I hate you, Joe Cronin. You stupid loser.
Got it out of your system now, Georgie.
I got it. I got it out of my system. But I got a feeling that we're going to be talking about Joe Cronin more.
Probably.
I hate him so much. What a just garbage human being.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of that trade.
We're a mostly football podcast. We're talking about football. Screw you, Joe Cronin. Sean, in your notes, we have Sean Fantasy Help. Who are we subbing?
So I'm in a couple leagues here. All right, we're going to try to make this snappy. So we're not going to focus on one of the leagues, but we have a Survivor League where I need to pick 2 teams. So while you pull up the NFL schedule, I'm going to run you through a draft, not a draft, a trade that's posed in my other league here. Okay. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan. So 2 people have sent me a trade. All right. One of the trades is I receive Jerry Judy and Joshua Kelly, and I give up Mike Williams and James Cook. What are our thoughts on that trade?
No, don't do it.
Okay. That's what I was kind of leaning towards. This is the second trade. And again, I feel like I might get a little it's going more towards him than towards me. You know, I want a little bit more equal playing ground. I would receive Jared Goff, DJ Moore, and Brees Hall. I would give up Tua, James Cook, and Garrett Wilson.
Immediate non-starter. Why do people want James Cook from you so bad?
I don't know why. He's a starter for me, actually, though.
He's doing well.
But
he's not
been.
like lighting the world on, but like even off air, you've sent me like 5 different trade offers, and every time somebody wants James Cook. I don't get it.
Every time.
But with the way the Dolphins are playing right now, you can't give away Tua.
That's how I'm feeling. But so here's the thing. Someone in the league put Tua on the trade block because his team. I mean, not Tua, Tyreek. Oh, did they already? Hold on. Damn it! They already made the trade. Damn. I was gonna try to get Tyreek Hill, and I was gonna talk to you about it. Holy
That's
fuck!
right.
What kind of trade is that?
I'm trying to negotiate in my league.
That's unreal. All right, we won't worry about the trades. All right, back to the Survivor League. All right.
Okay.
What 2 teams are we feeling for this week that are confident yeses, confident wins?
Oh, honestly, I had a really hard time with this. Who have you already picked?
So, who I've already picked, I should have had that up. That is my bad. Let me pull that up here real quick. I know I've picked the Chiefs in one of them. I picked the 49ers. So, and just so a little context, so we have 3 different teams. So each team we have is their own. It's like Sean 1, Sean 2, Sean 3 is its own Survivors League, everyone. So I have two Survivor Leagues left because I was dumb and I decided to take the Cowboys over the Cardinals this past weekend. Who would have thought the Cardinals would have won? Josh Dobbs has kind of turned that organization around, right? If I may say so myself. Like, I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a hot take. Cardinals are spicy. And Kyler Murray, maybe it's time to think about baseball.
Baseball might be a good little transition there for what's his name, Kyler Murray. Oh man, my computer is
I don't think you're coming back to the Cardinals.
This was a bad idea.
We have lost Sean's video. Sean, can you still hear me?
Uh-oh.
Hold on,
my computer.
What's going on?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm just going to close it. We're not going to look at the teams. We'll talk more off air on this because my internet's too shit right now. Yeah.
All right. We can edit this part out in post.
We can edit out the whole Sean fantasy help if we want to for this time around.
So your internet's
Dude,
so
I don't
bad
know. I don't know even why it's so bad right now.
Right now that like
I'm off internet on my phone. I literally am only running my TV's off. I'm only running my computer on internet right now. I think I might have too many tabs open.
Yeah, I got no clue.
There's definitely that possibility here, Georgie. There's definitely the. Right. We're back.
Well, you're back.
We're back, baby. For now.
You're back.
Can you still see me? It's laggy on my end. Okay.
You're a little laggy.
Okay.
We'll live with it. I'll put a picture up of you if we need to in post. But yeah. We're done with your Survivor pool. I like Minnesota. I picked Minnesota in mine. I feel like they're playing the Panthers. They're too good. They're too good to be 0-4.
Yeah.
I think that's a lock for me. They're not going to go.
That's not a bad pick.
Watch them go 0-4.
The Bucks and Saints game, like these games are just going to be too good to. And I say too good. They're going to be too close. I shouldn't say any game's going to be too good because the Broncos and Bears game is not going to be good. That is not going to be fun to watch. And quite frankly, I think that game's going to end.
That's the last game,
and they're both going to be 0-3 still. Yeah, that's.
So that's your pick. That's your pick in the toilet bowl of the week. I think the Broncos have a little bit more going for them. The Bears have looked pathetic.
There's glimmers of hope
games.
with the Broncos.
The Broncos.
I'm not too thrilled with Russell Wilson. He should have done better.
I think they beat the Bears.
He should be better. But let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride. Big news coming out of Chiefs camp. Travis Kelce
did get a new girlfriend.
Got a new girlfriend.
T-Swizzle.
May have heard of her. Her name's Taylor Swift. She's I've been told
allegedly.
She's a famous musical artist.
But someone
allegedly.
is counting a little fun fact here, since Taylor and Travis are confirmed. Someone is counting on the internet how long does it take for Travis to get touchdowns this year as Taylor has Grammys. Grammys, she has 12. Travis, I think, is at 3 right now. So, he's a quarter of the way there. And we'll see how long it takes him to get there.
He's on one of my fantasy teams, so I hope he gets 12.
I wish I had him
That'd
on
be
my
really
fantasy
nice.
teams. Because he's always been a go-to tight end. I always get in the past because I usually take him in the 3rd round, but people started taking him in the 1st round this year. So fuck me.
Yeah, that was me. Rumor I heard, T Swift is a big Eagles fan.
Are we getting in on this theory?
The conspiracy I heard.
I love this.
I'm
theory,
ready to
Georgie.
entertain it.
I'm
ready to entertain. Like,
you want me to go in on this? I think I told you about it. Okay. So there's a theory going around.
Yeah, hit me with it.
That Taylor, because she's a known Eagles fan, so she is becoming getting in a relationship with Travis right now. She is going on her international tour in November, so things are going to be like she's going to be spending a lot of time with Travis. Then they're going to have a good time away from each other, but then things are going to get a little rocky, and she's going to come back toward they're going to have a messy breakup right before the Super Bowl or something of that extent to mess with Travis's mind, so that way the Eagles, her known allegiance, wins the Super Bowl.
That's
Is it a little far-fetched?
I feel like it's a little far.
100%. I've also heard another theory that still has
if
Travis and Taylor ending up together in the end, but she has a different ploy on how to make it happen. These Swifties theories, man, they go in depth. I went down a rabbit hole this afternoon just listening to these different theories, man, and it's I'm kind of here for it.
That's I think we're gonna see how it plays out. I need to see a couple of weeks before I evaluate kind of what the deal is with this relationship. But I think the incorporation of Swifties with football fans is my favorite prospect for this season. I think it's going to be so interesting. 2 totally different worlds coming together. The other highlight of the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift situation is a question I'm going to pose. I think and that's not a question, but it's the coolest thing that Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, low-key a Swiftie.
Georgie, but tell us about it.
Have you seen this show?
Tell us about it.
I'm gonna read 2 tweets for you. First one is from Patriots reporter Mike Rice. Bill Belichick on Travis Kelce / Taylor Swift. Quote, I would say that Travis Kelce has had a lot of big catches in his career. This would be the biggest. Now, how the heck does the hoodie know about T Swift? Well, let me tell you, according to another tweet from Complex, he went to her concert at Gillette Stadium this year, and his thoughts were after she performed in the rain, that was pretty impressive. She's tough, man. She just stood out there and played right through it.
He's a Swiftie.
Bill Belichick, game respects game. I think that's what we're talking about. I love that Bill described her playing in the rain like a quarterback. She was tough. Champ, she just stood in there and she dealt with it. you know, she took, trying to do it like my Belichick, but sometimes you gotta, you know, you gotta play for the weather. You gotta understand the weather and play what the weather gives you. And we're on to Cincinnati. Um, I think it's great that just the grumpiest man in the universe has a soft spot
Yeah,
for this pop star. I love it. I hope we get more Bill Belichick Taylor Swift content.
that would be amazing.
I hope they
That
become
would be
friends. That would be
absolutely
my
amazing.
favorite end result from this.
No, I think Taylor Swift, it might be good for the NFL. You
But yeah,
know, it's getting Travis Kelce on the map potentially.
yeah,
Anyways, yeah, not before
because
this.
nobody knew who
She's the one
Travis
getting
Kelce
him on
was
the map
before.
for sure. uh,
Mm-hmm. No, this is two established brands coming together. But speaking of established
well, it's
brands,
no
Sean, hit
D3
us with our
spotlight
D3
today, but we
spotlight.
have our NAIA Briar Cliff University. It's okay. It's okay. NAIA
My
D3,
apologies.
both are, they're not D1, so it's harder. It's harder, harder to remember sometimes. It's okay. But Briar Cliff University, they squeaked out a win this weekend. They beat the Hastings Broncos 19-16. Love to see it. Love to see Coach Koziol, our boy, get a dub this weekend. Briar Cliff, we need some gear. We want to rep you. Send us some gear. I'm a size 3XL. I take hats also. I can't find the hat Coach Koziol already gave me. It's somewhere in my mess of packing because I have to move, Georgie. But Briarcliff, love to see the win. Keep it up, boys. Good luck this weekend against Concordia.
Fully agree. Nate, send us stuff. We will rep Briar Cliff
No
on this
questions. And
podcast.
that's
No
not a
questions asked.
sponsorship. We just want to rep our boy. But you know what is a sponsorship? Wits End Jerky with our the 3 pound bag of beef
Woo!
jerky right here. It's our last product placement of this evening by our sponsor, Wits End Snacks. Home for your most flavorful homemade beef jerky, hot sauces, seasonings, and other treats. For more information on our products and to place an order, email us at witsandsnacks@gmail.com. That's wits, WHITS, and snacks@gmail.com, and we can get you hooked up.
Well, listeners, are you sick of hearing about Wits End Snacks over and over? We're not, but we are willing to share some space with you. If you'd like to advertise something, anything, you have a product, you have a service that you want to provide, please reach out to us. We would love to share what you do and what you have to share. So reach out to us through our social channels by email at shipandcrewpod@gmail.com. You can find that email also through our links, through our socials. And honestly, we know who's listening to this podcast at this point. Reach out to us personally. We'll be happy to get you on and sell what you love. Moving back into Taylor Swift here. Is it
Our
Sean?
last segment of the night, we are going to be doing a draft for our favorite Taylor Swift songs. Georgie will lead us off. There'll be do we want to do snake draft or just keep doing alternating? So you, me, you, me, you, me, you, me. Okay.
Oh,
So
I
it'll
think we
go
got to do snake
George,
draft.
then I'll go 2 picks. George will go 2 picks, and we both get 5 picks. Can you hear me?
Oh, we lost you again.
Okay, we're back. Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I don't know what it cut out on, but we're going to be doing a five song draft. We're taking, can't pick the same song, and Yeah, we're going to see who has a better list at the end of it. Georgie, go ahead and start us off. I'm giving you the 1-1-1.
I'm picking one, not because it's my favorite song, but I think it is the most
Okay.
culturally significant of all of Taylor's songs. And I'm going
That's
with
a
22.
strong first pick, Georgie.
I don't think that song is very good, but I love that she
Yeah,
picked an age where for everyone's 22nd birthday from the moment that song was released,
100%. I played it on my
that
birthday.
song has to be played on your
100%.
birthday. And it is such a letdown and a reminder
Yeah.
that your birthday is no longer fun or interesting. Because your 21st birthday is your best birthday. You go out, you go to a bar for the first time, you show off your ID, all that fun stuff. It's a huge milestone birthday. The only milestone when you turn 22 is the
Sure.
weight you've gained putting on beer miles over the last year, and then this stupid song that your one friend is going to have to put on the touch tunes. That's it. She cornered the market on
Fair.
possibly the worst birthday ever.
All right, so my next pick.
Good for Taylor. The song is good, not great.
My first pick, is George gave us like a 5-minute explanation on his first draft pick. We don't need an explanation that long.
I had to.
I'm going to go with "You Belong
We're
with
not
Me."
doing that every time.
Like, I can't believe you didn't take that as your 1-1. That's such an easy 1-1 for me. You Belong
It
with
was
Me.
on my it was on my
second
short
pick,
list.
man. Or I go with one of her newer songs, or I go with I gotta go with Anti-Hero. I'm going with Anti-Hero. Yeah, dude, I knew that was going to be coming up next. I had to take it. I had to.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so there's two on my list that are gone. Yeah. Sorry I went too long. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I am going to go with Everything Has Changed
Ooh,
featuring Ed Sheeran.
I like that pick, Georgie.
It is just a beautiful song, heartfelt, and can't go wrong with Ed Sheeran. The next one, same concept. This is a first album song that I think is really great.
I almost put that on my list.
Teardrops on my
That was
guitar.
like, if I was going, because I did a 10-song list, that was my 11th song, George.
2006 was a bad year to be a guy named Drew because you got burned. You were the first Taylor Swift burn. Every guy in America named
That
Drew.
was a good pick, George.
You got burned first. How does it feel? Shout out to my friend Drew Garkey who listens to the podcast. Sorry about 2006.
All right, my next song.
Sean,
all right,
pick your next song.
I'm going with another classic. I'm going with Our Song. Our song is a slamming screen door.
Not on my list.
Out late, tapping on your window. Dude, great song. I'm bringing it back to one of her, not her newest albums, but some of her newer stuff. My fourth pick, I'm going Blank Space.
Okay.
Interesting.
That one's a little overrated for me. Not on my list. Next one. This is just kind of a all-around banger. I Knew You Were Trouble.
Damn. Took that right. That was gonna be my. I thought that was gonna fall to me.
Shame on me. That
I
one
like that one.
that one is just like a power ballad. And when she goes like, "Ow! Ow! Trouble, trouble,
That's a really
trouble."
good
It's
one.
awesome. I love that one. It is a banger. And then have you picked it yet? Oh,
That
how have you not picked
dude, that
Shake
didn't
It
even make my
Off?
list.
That's number 5 for me.
Didn't even make my list, man.
Really?
It is. It is.
It's
And
fun.
I do like that. You have a solid list. 22 at 1-1. I don't like that.
I lo-
That's a draft number pick 3 for me right there. That's for
I
me.
didn't
My
like it either,
last
but I need to
one.
make sure you didn't take it.
Go ahead.
'Cause- No, I love that Taylor
My
Swift ruined
last
birthdays
one
forever.
is
Go ahead.
such an underrated song. Most people probably never even heard of it. It is a tearjerker. So when you listen to this song, buckle up, have tissues next to you. You're going to be crying. But it's just such a good song. It's Ronin. I don't know if you've ever heard it, George. It is one of the saddest songs I have ever heard.
Is it? I think this is the album that I
It
haven't lit. I'll be
it's
honest, I'm not a
about
huge Taylor Swift fan. I
I
just
believe
know
a
the popular
mom
stuff.
who is saying goodbye to her baby boy, who's dying. It is it is a tearjerker of a song. It is so fucking sad, but
Ooh,
it's good. It's good. It made it like I it made my list. I think it's
scale scale from 1 to Whiskey Lullaby. How sad
oh,
is it?
okay. All right. Are we talking Whiskey Lullaby with the female singing the female portion?
Absolutely.
It's a 9. It's right there. It's 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 right there. It's
It's right.
I dude.
Wow.
It's like
Wow. So it's
Baby
like
by
Hurt
Blake
by Johnny
Shelton.
Cash. Um.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it packs a punch,
Ooh.
dog.
All right. Ronan packs a
Like
punch.
listen to this song, packs a
I
punch.
gotta listen to this
And
song.
those true Swifties know this song. So if these Swifties don't know this song, I'm questioning their Swiftiness. Which is bold of me to say because that
I feel like looking at our list, not just with Ronan, I feel like you are
I
definitely a
dabble in
bigger
my
fan
Swift.
than I
You
am.
know, I'm not going to spend an arm and a leg to go to a concert, but
You
if a concert ticket was to be gifted to me, I'd go. I'd go. Oh, dude, I would go as hard as Travis
oh,
Kelce
I'd
went to
go
that
too.
concert. Like, dude,
Oh,
insane.
I
Like,
would go
I do
too.
like her. She came to so back when I was in 8th grade, she came to our to the high school that I was going to be going to. My mom took me out of school for that afternoon when she was coming to visit. So I got to see her at my high school that I went to. Um, Unfortunately, she did not perform, but it was still really cool getting to see her in person. When she was, that was what, 2006, 2007. Like, no, scratch that. It wasn't that young. It was, what year did we go into high school? 2009. Yeah, so it was 2008,
Yeah.
2009 when she came, because it was the 8th grade year. It was so cool to see her, but she didn't perform, but still. So I love Swift. She's one of my faves.
Yeah, I would definitely see her in concert you know, just to have that experience, but I would
That's
say
fair.
like I know the stuff that plays at the bar. Everything has changed is maybe my only um So I bet hardcore Swifties like your
Dude, they
list
might
better.
even say my list is a little too
That's
generic, minus the Ronan song, because that like I have
yeah,
Ronan,
but
you have Everything Has Changed, because I've never really listened to that song, but you know,
oh, it's
but she has so many songs
it's
out there.
it's it's a
It's
it's a
hard to
really good
like just
song.
limit it to five. I feel like because we both had 10 lists of 10,
No,
and we thought we were going to be having a lot more crossover, but I still have like five of my songs that weren't even taken. You know?
I
Okay,
had
I'm just
Antihero and You
gonna list
Belong
my
with
other
Me on my
songs I
list.
had if you're cool with that. Like, so other songs I had: "Jump Then
All right.
Fall," absolute banger; "Love Story," another absolute banger; "Hours," another
I had
good
Love
song.
Story.
uh I think that would have been a sneak in, like some like a little deep throwback. And then Sparks Fly, dude. Like great songs. And I'm yeah, so
I had
we had
Sparks
some
Fly on
crossovers,
my
but
list
I'm
too.
surprised I had so many left over. So there's just so many songs that she has. It's hard
Yeah.
to not, you know. Ooh, good one.
I
Good one.
also had Style
Oh, that's a
and Picture to
throwback.
Burn from the
Yes.
original album.
Nice. Nice.
I a lot of my Taylor Swift experience was like in the
Yeah.
minivan on the way to school. Like my sister
That's fair.
got that first
That's fair.
album and we listened for a while. And then I think she
Ah,
would drive me to school.
that'll do
She
it to
was
you.
older.
Back.
Like so she wasn't a huge
Yeah,
Swiftie, but like that
that's fair.
first album.
Back in high school, I also did
So
a country music blog, and this was back when Taylor was still a country music artist, I would say. So I did a lot of coverage on T Swizzle. Um, so I dabble in her stuff. I love it. It's good shit. Yeah.
awesome.
That is. We tried to
Well, I
make
think that's
this
a wrap for us.
podcast quicker, but somehow it's still an hour and 50. Uh, I think it's been our
I still
best.
think it was better.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Um, we will see you guys next week on Ship and Crew. Just remember, part of the ship, part of the crew, and love you guys.